Welcome or welcome back. Come journal with me, your online, weird, and wealthy spiritual auntie. As we're already in Gemini season ruled by Mercury, and both Mercury and Gemini have the dominant phrase I think, which is all about basic knowledge, communication, and sharing information with people closest to you, like brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, neighbors, and people like me. As in the past years, I've shared a lot of basic knowledge around astrology, so you should be able to apply it yourself. And this upcoming year, I will be giving you the space to do so, as I've already uploaded what your ruling planet is doing and the aspects it will be making for Gemini season on Instagram and TikTok. I should have done it on Patreon too, but we'll be there shortly. Either way, I'll not leave you hanging totally, as I've also took out the only book about astrology you'll ever need. And with the help of the book, I will be dissecting the ruling planet's hard aspects for the upcoming month. So this video will be dissecting the hard aspects of Mercury. And out of the book, I'll also be reading a passage about the transiting planets, as this upcoming year we have quite some transiting planets which are big. So, as always, we'll also dive into the hard aspects of the moon. And if you already have your intention journal, the hard aspects and the transits are already written down, so let's get into it. And if you don't have your intention journal yet, welcome to the club. Here it is. Write these aspects down, write these transits down, and do something with it, because we're really going to apply some stuff towards ourselves this year. As we're off to the new moon in Gemini at the beginning of the season on the 27th of May. But two things first, because at the beginning of the astrological year video, I said we're starting the seasons off with last quarters, let things go in order to grow, but that was during the whole eclipse season and stuff. And now we're off to the moon wobble on the 13th of June. So yeah, the moon is wobbling and we're starting off seasons with new moons. New moon, new me, new course of action, and we're going to do things. This number 9 year of the snake, time to shed things and stuff, remember that. And at the beginning of the astrological year video, I also told Gemini, be very serious about what it is that you want to take along and what you want to let go. Because this year, Jupiter is leaving your sign. So all this expansion and stuff is not forever. But what you're going to take along will stay for the upcoming 13 years. As Jupiter, unlike the other outer planets, the other generational planets, is not coming back. But we've talked about this. So let's go on to that new moon in Gemini ruled by Mercury in Gemini already. At the beginning of the season, Mercury is in Taurus, coming home in Gemini, but moving out again into Cancer at the end of the season. So yeah, Mercury, the thoughts go quite quick. We change quite quick. And you can also imagine that the mutable air sign of Gemini is also quite quick. So I'm interested in this. I have interest over here. Let me share these things over there. But did you think about what you're actually doing and the consequences of it? This new moon will be occurring on 6 degrees, the Virgo degree. And Virgo is about analyzing. It's also quite selective. Well, not selective, it's just discriminating. You can and you cannot. And also quite humble. These are things, these are aspects that we need to keep in mind, because we have all these tools, we have all this like internet and stuff, so we can communicate, we can socialize, and instead of just reaching our neighborhood, we can reach the whole world. But do you want everything to reach the whole world? That's why we're going off to Patreon, because not everything, like the basics is for everyone, but the talkatives, we're going to keep for ourselves. Either way, you're up for change, Gemini placements. And is this how you want to do it for the upcoming 13 years? And especially with the tools of technology these days. It reminds me of this story I just saw. Like this guy, he was at work and this bobcat started following him. And he thought, let me take the bobcat home, and started documenting everything, throwing it online. And at a certain point, he was like, animal control wants to take the bobcat away. What should I do? Stop uploading. Stop saying I still have it, they didn't find. Use your common sense, use your logic, and be a little bit more selective about what you put out there, how you socialize, with who you socialize. it can haunt you for the upcoming 13 years, saying, okay, I'm going to take on this, I'm going to take on that, we're going to talk about it when Jupiter enters Cancer. But ruled by Mercury and Gemini, use your logic and a little bit of your intuition, but most of all your logic this time around. As we're off to the first quarter in Virgo on 12 degrees. 12 degrees is the Piscean degree. Pisces might victimize themselves a lot sometimes, like, oh, I just did it for the greater good, but your logic, your common sense told you it's not great, it's not good. Ruled by Mercury and Gemini again. On the 3rd of June, stick to the change you want to see in yourself for the world. Start improving yourself and your skills and believe in your adaptability. Because of course, all these things are laid out in front of us. Like, now you can reach everything, now you can reach everyone, now everyone can see, everyone can say something about it, but they can, like, if this is you right here, right now, and you say something, and in 2 years it comes back when you change your mind, when you change your perception, when you've improved yourself a little more. And now these people are going to like social groups. They're going to judge you about something you did 2 years ago. Stick to the change you want to see in yourself for the world, but start improving yourself. And self-improvement, improving your skills, those are things you do in the dark. Those are things you don't show everything and everyone. Like the guy, he wants to help animals. That's perfect. That's okay. That's bueno. He doesn't even look like an animal rescue or whatever. But keep it to yourself. Keep it to your community. So your community, your people, your close people in close vicinity. No, okay, this is an option. Okay, this is something I look up to. This is something I could follow. I remember, you know what? Auntie's going to tell you a story about when she was 15. This was like 15 years ago, but when I was younger, I had a lot of interests. Apparently I was a bookworm. I still am. I like gardening. I like going to raves. I like, I was called like an emo and a punker and whatever. And nowadays everyone is in micro trends and stuff. Like now I'm in cottagecore, now I'm in overconsumption core, now I'm in underconsumption core, now I'm in... But like, who are you? What suits you? And all those things suit me. It was not a phase. Believe me, mom, it was not a phase. So I told myself, you know what? I'm an alternative kid, because all them alternative kids, like, they skate, they be hippieing around, they don't look a certain way, but they are. And that's the most important thing. Just be. You don't have to show it to the outside. You have to be it on the inside. Remember that with that first quarter on 12 degrees, the Piscean degree. As we're off to the full moon in Sagittarius on 20 degrees. 20 degrees is the Scorpio degree, and that's on the 11th of June, and on the 9th of June, Jupiter luckily entered its exalted sign of Cancer. Because Gemini, like everything and everyone, oh, I can give you a little here, I can give you a little there, I can adapt myself a little here, but all these obstacles, all these oppositions and squares are mutable squares, mutable changes. We need to adapt ourselves. We need to be a little bit more flexible to the changes around the world. The world is changing and we're just in it. How can we change with it? How can we change along, or how can we protect ourselves? What? And Jupiter in Cancer is exalted in Cancer, and let's just talk about the exalted placements first, because remember that story about Dima? And Dima said exalted placements, fallen placements, everything except the domicile placements are learning points, learning moments. Because yes, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Okay, I have this idea, and now I'm going to nurture that idea so it can, Jupiter's dominant phrase, grow. I grow. You can grow it into something, into adulthood, into fruition. But not everything can go. What is your cause? What are you doing it for? Is it for the whole world? Is it for everyone to see? Or is it just for you and your community? Like, sometimes you do have the ability, but just because you have the ability doesn't mean you have to like give it for everything and everyone. And sometimes it does. Remember, it's a world of duality. I tell you, talk to your people, even though I do not have people, and that's okay. I tell you, like, it's not for everything and everyone to see, even though I'm on YouTube for everything and everyone to see, and that's okay. Make your discernment, analyze yourself, look at your statistics and where you need to be in the world. Because sometimes we did desire a mentor, we did desire Sagittarius, a guide to guide us through things, but it wasn't there yet. And you experienced things, you went through trials and tribulations, and now you are actually the one who can do, who can give, who can guide and help people with the shortcut to mastery. Like I'm helping you to shortcut to mastery of astrology. But with this full moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter in Cancer, just know, sometimes it is your role, sometimes it is your child, it is your business, it is your family, it is your thing to nurture into fruition. But be very selective about it. No one learns just for the sake of learning. It gives you value. And shine your word into the world and be whatever the world is asking you to be. Stop trying to fight it. Remember, there is no control. We do not have control. Just do what you're made here for and see how the things that you have gained can help you. Either way, you never had, but now you can give. And that reminds me of, everything reminds me of, but that reminds me of how we are the adults now. Okay, the adults gave an example, and their example, well, we don't like it, and now we're grown, now we can put out the examples, and which examples do we make now? I stopped reading, kinda, but be someone who reads instead of someone who is greedy or something. This generation of adults doesn't really like greedy people. And that's okay. After the last quarter in Pisces on 27 degrees. This last quarter in Pisces, let go in order to grow, ruled by Neptune in Aries on 1 degree. So I dream, I dream. And dreams are coming to fruition right now. Now is the time to take the stage. Now you are the adult, and now you are expected to take the stage. People are coming to you like, help me. What? What? I'm helping myself. But stop victimizing yourself, bruv. With that last quarter in Pisces, there's nothing wrong with being wrong as long as you know that you are wrong and you are being aware. You are being self-conscious and especially are willing to learn. Because everything is scary. There's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everyone. I've told you lots of times, this is the first time my mom had a daughter. This is the first time my mom has an adult daughter. This is the first time my mom has an adult daughter that's a YouTube astrologer and auntie. But there's a first time for everything, and you learn with trials and tribulations. Again, you do not learn how to swim by staring at the water. You cannot improve your skill by keeping it inside. Of course, improve it, but let out the prototype, come back and work on type B, work on type C. If you have to work on type D, maybe you should consider what you're working on, but it's okay to be wrong. And yeah, it just gives you space to be right. It's not practice make perfect. It's like the other thing makes improve yourself. And just know, it wasn't a phase, maybe. But like I said, that alternative gift, I never let it go, actually. I never let it go. Because I don't fit in anything else. But it was never a phase. It was just, you didn't really have the space to claim it, to own it, to be it, and that's okay. Now you do have the space to claim it, to own it, to be it, to speak it, to believe it. And what are you going to do with it? That's the question, love. Because we all need to be examples in the world with the basic knowledge, the basic skills which we have. And eventually, by going out with the basics, we can become mentors, we become teachers, we become masters. Okay, let's get into the hard aspects of Mercury. Well, yeah, it depends because I put like these tarot cards in between. So we'll just see what occurs first. Oh. Mercury in Taurus. I'm not going to read about that. We're going to read about Mercury in Gemini as it has entered its home sign on, I didn't even write it down. Oh, the 26th, today, the 26th of May. It will stay there until the 9th of June. So, Mercury in Gemini. If you have Mercury in Gemini, it's hard to pin you down. You have a quicksilver duality to your mind. You tend to change opinions quickly based on the latest news you're listening to. You often hold down more than one job or work on a number of projects at once. Extremely quick, versatile, interested in the world at large, you live mostly on a mental plane. You must have facts and information. What you want is to know. You are good at language and math and love to read, study, travel, and talk to new people about what you think. However, because you have such a variety of interests, your grasp of knowledge tends to be superficial. You always know a bit about everything, but sometimes not a lot about anything. You are clever enough to conceal this and to give a marvelous impression of being well informed. Another problem is your lack of stick-to-itiveness. At times, there is a distinct lack of order in your life. You would make a wonderful debater, public speaker, or actor, and you have lots of friends because of your infectious good humor. Many popular TV interviewers and talk show hosts have their Mercury in Gemini. Throwing all gems out here, love. Either way, on the 17th of June, Mars will be entering Virgo. Oh, that's Venus. Wait. Mars in Virgo. As a Mars in Virgo person, you are a prodigious worker who finds your best success in a systemized approach. You are ambitious and proud, though this is not always apparent on the surface. Extremely strong-willed, you can separate yourself from your emotions when it comes to making decisions. In your work, you are shrewd, calculating, and quietly determined. You suspect people who only want to deal with big problems because somehow such people never seem to reach any useful conclusions. You suspect people who only want to deal with big problems because somehow such people never seem to reach any useful conclusions. Mars in Virgo may appear sexually cool, but in truth you glamorize sex. You want it to be both physically rapturous and mentally exciting. Your passions are strong but kept under tight rein. Mars Virgos tend to be successful in professions where control of emotions is advantaged, such as politicians, psychologists, and investigators. When putting a plan into action, you must beware of getting bogged down in detail. I actually forgot to read Venus as it's entering Taurus on the 6th of June. On the 6th of June, Venus will be entering her home sign. I do not have Venus in Taurus. Did you hear that? Either way, as a Venus in Taurus person, you are affectionate and romantic, but you don't give your love away too quickly. A bad love affair is hard on you emotionally, so you take your time deciding on the right person to love. This process, however, is done by feeling rather than thinking logically. Yours is a very physical and earthy love nature. To you, love does not exist without sex. You are very demonstrative and generous towards your lover, sometimes too much so. Your passion can be smothering. You have an all-consuming need to make a lover belong to you. With friends, you are willing and ready to help, but you are as cautious about forming instant friendships as about love. This position of Venus brings money luck, sometimes through inheritance or marriage. Venus and Taurus people have a keen artistic eye and are interested in music. You also love to eat and have to fight overweight. So focus, people, for the upcoming month. Next up is Jupiter, which is entering her exalted sign of Cancer. So again, focus on your business. Jupiter in Cancer, this is one of the luckiest positions Jupiter can be in. As a Jupiter Cancerian, you have a wonderful disposition, are good-humored, funny, and optimistic. You are popular wherever you go, and this opens many doors for you. Retentive Cancer is a sign that holds on to money. People with Jupiter in this sign are lucky with investments, real estate, and inheritances and the stock market. You are imaginative and sympathetic and do well in creative pursuits. Old things have a special appeal to you. You would be successful in the antique business and museum world. Anything involving food or drinks also bring luck. Many of you make successful chefs, restaurateurs, and cookbook writers. You will probably acquire enough material possession by the time you reach middle age to ensure that your later years are peaceful and secure. You make excellent parents and your children tend to bring you benefits. Your luckiest time of the year are when the sun is in the sign of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay. And yesterday, on the 25th of May, Saturn entered its detriment sign of Aries. So everyone who's down for the Aries return, listen up very well. I got you, girl. Ik denk aan je. Hoe dan ook. Saturn brings delays to Aries, the sign of initiative, and the result is confusing. Saturn brings delays to Aries, the sign of initiative, and the result is confusing. If you are a Saturn-Arian, you can be strong and powerful one minute and irresolute the wavering. Saturn brings delay to Aries, the sign of initiative, and the result is confusion. If you are a Saturn-Arian, you can be strong and powerful one minute and irresolute and wavering the next. This position is not an easy one, for you must continuously fight against obstacles placed in your way. Many of you achieve success, but not without disappointment and setback. Saturn in Aries makes you ambitious and determined and promotes your power to control other people. On the negative side, Saturn-Arians can be stubborn, dictatorial, and sometimes solitary and grumpy. In general, your hardest times come early in life. It is then that you develop the strength of character that serves you well in later years. As you grow older, each year brings less struggle and more success. Natives of this Saturn position tend to suffer more headaches and dental problems, because Saturn rules the teeth and Aries the body and the head. Okay, shut up, Shmoane. Let's go on. Because those were the transiting planets, and I also wanted to talk about the aspects of Mercury, the ruling planet of this month, because Mercury is making quite some hard aspects, especially conjunctions. Well, these aren't really hard aspects because, let me just take you along like I always do. Can you see? No. Well, either way, it has like good aspects, adverse aspects, and conjunctions. So let's start with the conjunction with Uranus and Mercury, where Mercury is our mind, our consciousness. Uranus is our inner genius, so that higher aspect of the mind, not the subconsciousness, but the higher aspect of the mind, are, again, inner genius, in a conjunction on 27 degrees in Taurus. So Taurus is all about what you have, Gemini about your basic knowledge and your information, way of communication. Be stable in communicating, because in this conjunction with Mercury and Uranus on 27 degrees, a talent for scientific thinking can be stubborn and eccentric, but also a genius. It hasn't been done before, that's why it's weird. Stick to your thing before someone else sticks to it and runs off with whatever it is that you had, whatever. The Sun will also be in conjunction with Mercury, and then we have to go back to the Sun's aspects, because listen up. The Sun and Mercury are always within 28 degrees of each other, and thus, if they form an aspect in your chart, it will be only a conjunction. So the sun, Mercury is always like the sign in front, in your sun sign, or the sign after your sun sign. Talked about. Either way, in this conjunction, if 5 degrees or less separate the sun and Mercury, native is apt to be rigid and dogmatic in opinion. I don't know what apt means, APT, but I do know that when the sun, the vitality and the soul, and Mercury, the mind, come into alignment, it's the sun and it's a soul and mind alignment. You know exactly what it is that you want to do. You know exactly where it is that you want to grow with this conjunction in Gemini on 9 degrees. Gemini is the basics. 9 degrees Sagittarius degree is the higher aspect, is the master. You know exactly what you want to master. You know exactly what you don't want to master. So go. The world is your oyster. As we're going off to Mercury squaring the north and the south node on 23 degrees. 23 degrees is the evolved Aquarian degree. Aquarius. Okay, when the Aquarius is not evolved, they may be thinking a lot, they may be inside a lot, but when they're evolved, they know this is exactly who I am, who I want to be, where I want to be, and how I go out with it, how I go evolve with it, which people I'd like to have with it. And if you know, follow your own eccentricity with this square with the north node and south node. It's a second mediator after Jupiter somewhere in January was the mediator at the end of January. But you know. So stick to your thing. And it all comes back to the same thing, isn't it? What's the last aspect? In a conjunction with Jupiter on 29 degrees in Gemini. 29 degrees, the full expression of that sign, the full expression of Gemini. So communicating, being social and stuff, but we've learned a lot, and that not everyone can go, that not everything is our own people. Not all skin folk is skin folk. And in this conjunction with Jupiter, above average intelligence, optimistic, philanthropic bent. But above average intelligence, your logic, your intuition, it's all coming together. Follow your intuition. You are right. Your feelings are true. You know exactly what it is and what it isn't. And if your gut feeling is saying, maybe it is a moment. Yeah, let me tell you. So there was this space I was at, right? And now I'm reading The Daily Laws again. And it's about people, the non-players, like I don't want to be in power and stuff, and I got trapped. So this person was like, you can always call me, you can always send me a message day and night and stuff. So I did, and I trusted, and I kept updated. And as I kept updating, like my opportunities fell away. My opportunities, my growth moments went away because I was too talkative. And now I'm like,